Your wealth is 98% unconscious behavior. Not strategy, not motivation, not discipline. The money you don't have right now, it's the result of thousands of tiny decisions you made while your brain was on autopilot. Scrolling instead of creating, saying yes to the wrong people, spending before saving, waiting until you feel ready. Here's what no one tells you. Getting rich isn't about one big transformation. It's about rewiring 17 micro loops that run without your permission. Small behaviors you repeat so often, they became who you are. And the wild part? Most of them aren't even about money. Stop waiting for the perfect budget. Stop looking for the life-changing side hustle. Your breakthrough is in the boring stuff. The stuff you do every single day without thinking. Your default mode network. The autopilot system running your life when you're not paying attention. Has memorized broke behavior. It's not your fault. Your DMN is designed to conserve energy by automating patterns. Fire the same neural circuit enough times, and it becomes a highway. You don't choose it anymore, you just drive it. Check your phone first thing in the morning? Highway. Open your banking app and feel dread? Highway. Tell yourself I'll start next month? Highway. Every single one of those behaviors, fired thousands of times before you turn 30. Here's the problem. Your DMN doesn't distinguish between helpful patterns and destructive ones. It just encodes whatever you repeat. Which means if you've practiced financial avoidance more than financial engagement, avoidance feels like home, it feels like you. And here's where it gets worse. Your brain resists updating these loops. Neurologically, it's expensive. Your amygdala flags change as threat. So even when you know you should automate your savings or start creating instead of consuming, your nervous system pushes back. The old pattern feels safer. You're not stuck because you don't know what to do. You're stuck because your brain has rehearsed not doing it so many times that inaction became your equilibrium. Picture this. You come home from work. You're tired. You tell yourself you're going to work on that project tonight, the one that could actually move the needle. But first, you're just going to relax for 20 minutes. You open Netflix or YouTube or Instagram. 3 hours later, you're still scrolling. The project didn't happen, again. And the worst part? You feel the shame. But tomorrow you'll do the exact same thing, because that's the circuit your brain has memorized. Now layer in the people around you. Your closest friends complain about money every time you see them. They talk about how expensive everything is, how the system is rigged, how there's no point in trying. You agree because disagreeing feels awkward. You absorb their learned helplessness without realizing it. Or try this one. You get a bonus at work. For 48 hours you feel good. Then the money hits your account. And instead of moving it somewhere intentional, you leave it there. Within 2 weeks, it's gone. New shoes, dinner out, a small thing you've been wanting. You can't even remember where it went. Here's the moment that reveals everything. You knew better in all three scenarios. You've read the articles. You've watched the videos. You know you should create instead of consume. You know your circle matters. You know to automate savings before you see the money. But knowing didn't stop the behavior, because the behavior isn't conscious. It's a loop your DMN runs while you're not looking. Let's name what's actually happening. Every behavior you repeat strengthens a specific neural pathway. Neuroscientist Donald Hebb summed it up in 1949. Neurons that fire together wire together. The more you repeat a behavior, the faster and more automatic that circuit becomes. This is Hebbian learning. Your brain is optimizing for efficiency, not wealth. It wants to conserve energy, so it automates the patterns you repeat most, even if those patterns are sabotaging you. Now add dopamine. Every time you get a notification, open a shopping app, or consume content, your brain gets a small dopamine hit. Over time, your reward system gets trained to crave consumption instead of creation. Kahneman and Tversky's loss aversion research proves your brain weighs potential losses twice as heavily as equivalent gains, which means the fear of wasting time on a project that might not work feels worse than the certainty of wasting time scrolling. Your amygdala, your brain's threat detection system, flags unfamiliar behaviors as risky. Starting something new, risky. Reaching out to someone you admire, risky. Automating your savings so you can't access it, risky. Even though logically you know these behaviors would help you, your amygdala interprets them as threats to your current equilibrium. So you default back to what's familiar. Consumption, passivity, procrastination. Not because you're weak, because your brain has practiced those responses thousands of times, and they became the path of least resistance. Carol Dweck's research on neuroplasticity gives us the good news. Your brain can rewire, but only if you interrupt the old loops and deliberately encode new ones. You have to fire different circuits so many times that they become the new highways. Here's the protocol. 17 micro loops that will rewire your financial autopilot. You don't need to do all of them at once. Pick 3. Repeat them daily for 30 days. Let your brain encode them. Micro loop 1, the creation ratio. Every single day, create for 15 minutes before you consume anything. Write, record, code, build. It doesn't matter what. What matters is that you fire the creator circuit before the consumer circuit. Track it. Creation minutes versus consumption minutes. If creation doesn't win, you're training your brain to stay passive. Micro loop 2, circle audit. Write down the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now write down the size of their problems. Are they complaining about drama? Or solving how to build something? If you can't physically change your circle yet, change your digital circle. Books, podcasts, YouTube channels. Your brain doesn't distinguish between in-person and digital. When it comes to absorbing patterns, Microloop 3, the I did hard things file. Create a document. Every time you do something that scared you, write it down. What you were afraid of, what actually happened, how you felt after. Your brain needs proof that discomfort doesn't kill you. This file becomes that proof. When your amygdala screams, "Don't do it," you show it receipts. Microloop 4, the gratitude interrupt. Set a daily alarm, 8 p.m. When it goes off, write down one thing that went right today. One thing you're grateful for. This isn't about toxic positivity. It's about training your default mode network to scan for good instead of scanning for threat. What you practice noticing, you notice more. Microloop 5, automate before you see it. Set up 2 automatic transfers. One to savings, one to investments. Both happen the day your paycheck hits. You never see the money. You can't spend what isn't there. This removes willpower from the equation. Automation beats motivation every single time. Microloop 6, specific financial target. Write one financial goal for this year. Be disgustingly specific. Not save more, not invest consistently. Right, save $12,000 by December 31st for X, then divide by 12, that's your monthly target. Vague goals produce vague action. Specific goals create specific circuits. Microloop 7, the 3-bucket audit. Every month, categorize your spending into 3 buckets. Fundamental, rent, groceries, essentials. Fun, restaurants, subscriptions, lifestyle. Future, courses, investments, growth. If your future bucket is 0, your brain is spending in the present tense. You're not building anything. Microloop 8, intentional networking. Reach out to one person per week. Someone you admire, someone doing what you want to do. Not to ask for something, to offer value. Share an insight, make an intro, ask a thoughtful question. Your network isn't built by collecting contacts. It's built by creating value before you need anything. Microloop 9, the first step protocol. When you have an idea, take the smallest possible first step within 48 hours. Not the whole plan, just step 1. Send the email, record the intro, open the doc. Your amygdala loses power when action happens fast. Waiting is what kills momentum. Microloop 10, money conversations. Once a week, ask someone a money question. Not in a weird way, casual, curious. How do you think about budgeting? Or what's one financial decision you're proud of? Most people never talk about money, which is why most people stay broke. Normalize it. Microloop 11, the 1% rule. Every month, improve one financial behavior by 1%. Save 1% more, cut one expense by 1%. Increase one income stream by 1%. Your brain doesn't resist tiny changes. 12 months of 1% improvements. Compounds into transformation. Microloop 12, consumption limits. Set a hard cap on passive consumption. 1 hour of TV, 1 hour of social media. Whatever the number is, enforce it. Not because consumption is evil, because every minute spent consuming is a minute not spent creating. And creation is what builds wealth. Microloop 13, energy audit. Write down every recurring task in your week. Now ask, what could I automate, delegate, or delete? Every task you don't have to do manually. Is energy you get back? Use that energy to build. Microloop 14, no 0 days. Every single day, do one thing that moves your financial life forward. Transfer 10, send one pitch. Watch one educational video, read one page. 1 action per day for a year is 365 actions. 0 action per day for a year is 0. Microloop 15, delayed readiness. Stop waiting to feel ready. You will never feel ready. Take the action now. And let competence catch up. Your brain learns by doing, not by preparing to do. Fire the circuit. Let it strengthen. Microloop 16, expense notification review. Turn on transaction notifications. Every time money leaves your account, you see it. Conscious spending beats unconscious bleeding. Most people are broke because they don't realize how much is leaving. Microloop 17, Sunday financial reset. Every Sunday, spend 15 minutes reviewing your week. What went well financially? What didn't? What's one behavior you'll adjust this week? You can't improve what you don't measure. This loop closes the feedback cycle. Pick 3, repeat them daily. Let your brain memorize them. In 90 days, these won't feel like effort. They'll feel like you. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Your life won't change because you watched this video. It'll change because you picked 3 of those loops and started firing them tomorrow. Most people will watch this, feel motivated for 6 hours, and then let their default mode network take over again. They'll scroll, they'll procrastinate, they'll wait until they feel ready. And 6 months from now, nothing will be different. Subscribing to this channel is a declaration. You're telling your brain, I am the kind of person who studies how my wiring works. I am the kind of person who interrupts autopilot. I am the kind of person who builds wealth through boring, repeated behaviors. You're not subscribing to support a creator. You're subscribing to become someone new. You're broke as a habit. These 17 loops are the antidote. Now go rewire.